What's up guys, this is the Rifleman and I am back to bring you the next episode of my Desert Storm Command Modern Operations Let's Play campaign. So to kick off where we left off, our main changes or our main activities have been kicking off the transit of men and material from Incirlik to the Saudi Arabian bases. We've got our first trans of aircraft en route, including our F-16s, our A-10s, our U-2s are at King Faisal, and our first detachment of troops are inbound. We have some equipment also coming in with a few flights of F-15s and F-16s, providing a local escort. Our American forces are now crossing over the North Atlantic, and the only troops that are currently hanging back... Oh, I definitely forgot about you. When I sped it up last time, I kicked up the speed of these Blackbirds too fast, and I ignored them while sorting out my Middle East missions. But they are now refueling. So now the name of the game is, can we keep it all going to get these guys safely deployed to the Middle East? So the one thing that might have to change is the addition of more tankers to the Romania track. Yep, so we've completed the objective for the King Faisal deployment, and one of these will fire off every time something deploys to a new base. But to me, that's not my objective. My objective is to complete my deployment. So my Hercules are all assigned. Just launch them as a group. Launch my F-16s as a group. Assign them to transit operations. And my last Phantoms assigned to mission Middle East transit. Our next tranche of aircraft are coming in, so we've got our F-16s. Where are F-15s? That's what I want to know. This is a flight 14396. I want these guys to deploy to Prince Sultan because they've got the range to do so. So assign them to Prince Sultan Ferry. The same of the following troops behind it. Prince Sultan Ferry. And these F-16s can join their friends at King Faisal Air Base, potentially making use of these air-to-air refueling asset if it becomes needed. Our harms are definitely going to need to be refueled en route. Which I may even make our air-to-air refueling KSA West make it not allowed to refuel our refuel allies, because we need the refuel to get American assets in theatre. No. Seems very selfish, but my mission objectives are to get my guys safely into theatre. So our U2s are picking up fuel. I don't know how much of it they'll successfully be able to take from this KC-135 cube before it has to RTB. Then once these guys get closer to Romania, I will switch up the objectives for my tankers so that all of these guys take off to join them in the air. Craft 3, this guy's carrying cargo, so let's assign this guy to join the U2s. King Faisal. Craft 2, join the F-15s at Prince Sultan, and then, oh, this is a compass call. You go join the F-15s at Prince Sultan. So we still need cargo to deploy to Dhahran. First F-16s are inbound. Task group still doesn't really need to do anything, but I think that's almost We've got F-111s and we've got a couple of Hercules, but that's almost all of our European forces in the air ready or being redeployed to Saudi Arabia. So let's kick it up to top speed. It's another Hercules taking off. Yep. Flight 1. Another compass call. He's going to join his brother down here at Prince Sultan. So King Faisal's got their U2s and they're supporting troops, but they have yet to have any. They don't have any support equipment. But Craft 3 is inbound to deploy it. Good stuff. Things are going rather well. Soon our SR-71 will be full and they will continue the race. So if they're not deploying to Dhahran, I'm more open to put them onto ferry missions earlier on in the transit track because they've already got quite safe destinations to go to. It's mainly Dhahran that I hold off. So I want these guys to transit a bit more to the southeast before I send them too near the border, in case they get intercepted. But to be honest, it doesn't look like that's happening. So assign to mission. Go to King Abdulaziz. Unit orders. Refuel if possible from mission air to refueling KSA West. The flight ahead of them. Unit orders. If you're already on King Abdulaziz. You're refueling. And this group of F-15s go to Prince Sultan. Awesome. So you are going to fuel if possible from KS SR-71-2. Although that might cause problems because there is a checkpoint. I know you had already crossed the checkpoint. Good. So Orange 1 delivered as much fuel as he could before he had to RTB. So he can delete the first SR-71 mission because it surplus to requirements. Let's get these guys. I think they're not going to. Oh, they're not military powering because they're trying to head to the refuel point. That's okay. It's a big old mess now in the airspace above Saudi Arabia. As our first. Actually, that's the point. I'm going to make my Eta Romania. Get him in the air. Phase 1 is okay. My J-Stars doesn't need to redeploy. Doesn't need to refuel. My F-15s definitely will. Refuel from my... they're going to try pick up fuel from Exxon 6 as it's the nearest tanker. It's not a problem. He'll drag them back onto the right axis. Juba 1, I'm going to select manually refuel from SO5. As our next tranche of aircraft hit the Middle East transit points. So our compass call, assign him to Prince Sultan, so he'll immediately just shoot straight down to Prince Sultan. Craft 4, this is the last cargo, the last Hercules cargo aircraft, and they are going to go east to join the forces at Dhahran because they currently have no cargo. The only troops we have left to forward deploy are our F-111s, which are probably going to go to Prince Sultan as well. So these guys, there's no one here. Our Iceland refueling mission is defunct. Get everyone home. Pretty sure. Yeah, these aircraft at Alconbury are broken. So one of our refueling aircraft is taking off to... Okay, unit orders. Not refuel, assigned to mission, King Abdulaziz ferry. So you've got 400 miles actually. You might have to go to... Refuel if possible from hetero fueling KSA Centre. Well, you've slowed right down, so you'll have just enough fuel, but instead go to Ethel 1, top up, and then continue on your transit. Good stuff. Blackbirds are topping up. May be able to afterburn them to the next refuel point. It's 1,200 miles away. Then again, they'll get more range once they climb. There you go, they're already afterburning again. So let's go to Ramstein. Get them all up. And let's activate the mission. Get everyone airborne. Once they've caught up with these guys at the rear, it's okay. They can just cruise in. I'm not got a problem with that. But I think we are soon. Okay, a bunch of our F-111s are going to be ready to move soon. And those are our KC-135s taking off. Yeah, we deployed to Prince Sultan. As this guy is going to make up some serious speed. So let's change. Let's get rid of RSS-71-2. Bring these KC-135s home. Oh damn, it's because I've set them to refuel. They've slowed down again. Unit orders, refuel. Okay, hold on. If I do group encon, refuel, not allowed. So they're no longer refueling, so they are going to... No, don't RTB. Okay, unit orders. Okay, let's pause time here to make sure I don't do anything stupid. Okay, unit orders. Doctrine MCON. Okay, okay, hold on. So I can see unit options, but not group options. Like, for some reason, it's all gone a bit funky. Refuel if possible from mission that. Good. Rather them go slow than RTB. That's all I'll say. And this is why with this game you got to be on your toes. So at this point, the scenario will have completed. All the points have been ticked, and I've deployed troops, aircraft, and equipment to each of the bases. But I'm not done. Still got aircraft in the air. So this Hercules is going to move. Once these F-111s are done. It says, "Oh, you've done. Don't worry, you've done." And it's like, yeah, but nothing I've got from the United States is anywhere near deployed. So I don't. That's not the win condition to me. phase 1 is continuing. So the F-16s need a bit of help because they need to get to Daran. Okay, my air refueling in KSA Centre also needs to stop refueling allies because I don't have enough tankers to do it. As long as they're Kuwaiti aircraft and not my transport aircraft. So first batch of F-111s are ready. Let's get them airborne and out of the way first before the American units get involved. Good stuff. Trooper 1's picking up fuel, R-15s are picking up fuel, so they need it, but our J-Stars does not. Oh god damn. I can't send them this way to engage because they are too close to their sand belt. I think I might have to. Unit orders, attack options. So let's do a bit of manual guidance. So I don't want my F-15s. Okay, hold on. So has that worked? Because this guy is going to get shot down. Because I'm trying to direct them. But if I do unit orders, select units, group. I think if I delete the group. Nope, that hasn't worked. This guy is going to get shot down. Because... Nope, he is flying away from the sound battery, which is good. Good. I'll plot your course out of the way, the hell out of Dodge. Okay. So now we've got our F-111s, oh, 9 of them. Launch as a group, assign them to the transit. Potential bogey. So let's assign Phase to the Middle East transit because he's now attempting to go back to base. Let's turn our Rincon passive. Okay, military power to chase up to this guy. Chase this guy down. 450 knots. It's probably going to be a big aircraft. Afterburn to get up there. It's probably going to cause me problems in the end. As he does a flyby, it's an A320. So F-111s are 9 aircraft is too much to pick up fuel from... Oh, maybe not. Still, I'm going to put our F-111s into King Faisal. There we go. They're going to provide a strike asset too, especially for these SAM batteries. Unit orders assigned to missions. So starting to get the leading elements of our US forces joining the Middle East transit queue for onward deployment. Assigned to mission. Middle East transit. I think that's everyone. There's one more C5. Is it C5 or is it a... Yeah, there's still C5. But they're redeploying. Gonna have our Blackbird, he's probably gonna redeploy straight to King Faisal as well. Okay, let's assign our J-Stars aircraft to Prince Sultan. There we go, it's formed his dotted line. He was a bit grumpy because of the no-fly zone. He's also going to provide a bit of a view on these SAM batteries as they fly past. Still a whole lot of combat, but like I said, I'm not really that bothered about. Not really that bothered about the combat at the minute. So there's still one C5 picking up fuel back here. We'll launch F-15s has taken off to provide cover for the AWACS, although there's only been a handful of combat aircraft actually causing problems. Yeah, they're all manually routing around the no-fly zone, so I probably want to do something like that. So these guys are going to pick up fuel from Clan 1, Clan 2 before onward deployment to Dhahran. Blackbird's taking fuel up, taking fuel off from the KC-135 queues. The C5's finished taking up fuel, so the Romania mission deletes everyone else RTB. So we're going to put a star lifter into Dhahran because we've got a serious amount of equipment there. One of my C5's go to Faisal, one of my C5's go to Prince Sultan. So I think to balance out both my star lifters, how much cargo have you got? 20 tons compared to the 60 of my C5s. Yeah, let's do that. So let's take my star lifter. Both my star lifters go into Dhahran. C5s go elsewhere. Unit orders assigned to mission King Abdulaziz. Unit 1,600 miles. Actually, to be honest, that does get them there. They need to pick up fuel. This C5, once he goes on a bit further, he can transit straight into Prince Sultan. Amway's got 3,000 miles, which is plenty. Oh, where are you going? Pause. Okay, let's do this. So he was complaining because I must have missed a rally point, this one. And he's trying to go back there, pick it up and come back. So I've unassigned him from the mission. And he's just going to straight line it there. Straight line into the Middle East. So F-15s, assign them to the King Abdulaziz ferry. Kite 1, first C5, get into Prince Sultan. Ramsey 1 was to pick up fuel from Clown 1, which is grand. And Y1, because he's going into King Faisal, I'm going to assign him to that mission now, because he can just head straight there. Sweet, we're in the closing stages, because there's not a lot in this I really have to do. These guys can get to Dhahran easily enough, even though there is a tanker on station needing to refuel them if needs be. Okay, what I'm going to do is pick the unit orders, pick up more fuel from these guys, then you guys are going to Mach 3 it down towards the Middle East. Apart from that, I think everyone that needs to be redeployed, so these F-15Es were here already, as were the sentries, the tankers, although you could be, this is one of the ones from Torion, you could have been assigned, and I didn't really use my Phantoms very much. Yeah, we've got some civil aircraft taking off from Riyadh, but that's not really our concern. To be honest, I'm going to deploy them into King Faisal anyway, somewhere nice and safe. So let's assign them to the mission King Faisal Ferry. Then when they get up to altitude, oh, you really need fuel. How much have you got? 300 miles. So this is why. Is this because is it because of this no-fly zone? Just do a bit of manual guidance just to get them to safety, because you are running out of fuel. Dangerously so. You should be able to safely pick up fuel. Okay, let's move the refueling pair further to the Middle East. C5s are inbound. So you can go 3,000 miles as is, but what about if you're going at military power? Or is there a plane shot down message somewhere? Yep, so our F-15 flight from Dhahran is on station. It says to arm them for the air-to-air fight. Once they've all landed, that is. So you want to go to King Abdulaziz. Aircraft. Ready and armed with Sparrow. Heavy. 3 hours. 10. The Blackbird's 2,300 miles. Yep, they're going to get there. So Ramsey 1's picking up more fuel. Should have picked up over Romania, but I was not. She's trying to go back to the transit point. Just drive forward like that. God, here come the Blackbirds. 90,000 feet. Boom. They want to hit. Once they hit this rally point, they will activate the mission. Did land in at Faisal. Unit orders. Okay, no longer refueling. So the Blackbirds are going to go in and land And we've got one last Star Lifter, which is our last asset to shunt out to the Middle East. And yet, things are starting to get a bit close to our task group, but the task group doesn't really do anything in this scenario. As we wait on this Ramsey aircraft going military power, let's get the squeeze those extra 30 knots. So we've got enemy AWACS, got enemy fighter aircraft. They're just waiting to see if I try and do anything sneaky. Ooh, is that near? Yep. To the north again, there was another probe. Probably from a Foxbat. Let's do losses and expenditures. So Iraq has lost a whole bunch of stuff, including 50 tanks, 2 MiG-25 Foxbats, 9 MiG-21s. It could have been a MiG-21 that we shot down then. We've lost nothing. Expanded 10 AMRAAM, 10 Sparrows, 4 Sidewinders, and 1 chaff salvo to decoy incoming weapons. Let's delete the SS-71 mission. Get them all home. Because when this last Ramsey aircraft gets in, Ramsey 1, that's this scenario completed, and then we'll have a look at the score. No, where are you going? Stop! They never actually signed you to the ferry mission. That'll explain that. Yep, so you can afford to run. Oh, it might be a bit of a scrap up north. You can afford to run fast in missions like this that are primarily logistics. Oh, this is Foxbats. But if you're doing a combat scenario, you're probably going to want to play at probably something between 2 and 5, because you'll have lots of things to control. See if his F-15's going to knock out these Foxbats. We've identified one of them, but I suspect the other one is also a MiG-25. Weapon coming in, but he's had to point his nose away, so it drops off the contact. It's going to do the same if he shoots again, which he sadly did not. The Sparrows are not doing a very good job. Oh, he was flying with a civilian airliner, so it's a good job we didn't identify them both as hostile and engage them. Otherwise, this would be War Crime Simulator. So there's Ramsey 1. Gonna power into the base. And that's the first scenario done. We've shifted all of our assets from Europe and the Middle East over to... No, from Europe and the United States over to the Middle East. The only aircraft we have in the United States are the tankers at Loring Air Force Base, which have turned around and are ready to go. So we didn't need to use any diversion stations because there's a crap load of tanking in this scenario. And if you throw them all up when you need them, then there really is just surplus fuel to go around. This is Rose 1, recovering back to Ramstein. Cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time when we kick off the first combat-y episode. I think it's called The Thin Red Line, and it's going to involve lots and lots and lots of aircraft and ships and be much more complicated than this one has been. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.